Hello and welcome to our second video on Microsoft Word. This video we're going to look at comments and how they are used to give us instructions and how we can add them and remove them or edit them as we see fit. So you'll see here on our Microsoft Word document on the right hand side that we've got three little speech bubbles. Each of those contain comments. Now when you click on it and then you actually go to do it, whatever task it's instructed you, it's a bit frustrating because the moment you see here, add a heading Bishop Briggs Academy Rocks, you go over here and you go Bishop Briggs, oh I've made a typo, then we need to fix that, Academy, and because it's not there to see, you can't check it as you go, you have to keep clicking back at it, and then I see an exclamation marks required. So an easier way to do this is if we go to our View tab and then we select it so that it shows, sorry, my apologies, our Review tab, not our View tab, our Review tab, and we click on Show Comments. This means that all the comments appear over at the right hand side and we don't need to click on them individually. Also, what's good about this is when you roll over the comment, you can see that it's pointing to the part of the document where the information probably has to go or where the information is connected to. In this particular example, that's not the case. I've not been that creative with it. I'm just trying to create a poster based on these topics. So, first bit here, we've got add a heading, so Bishop Briggs Academy Rocks, and then a subheading underneath saying everything you need to know about geology. And you need to be careful to pay attention to the caps. Okay, now we're doing this kind of as a poster, so I'm going to want to probably center these and I'm going to want to really enhance both of them. But one is a heading and one isn't. So I want the heading to be bigger and clearer. I'm going to go with a font that I'm a big fan of, which is Broadway, just because it's easy to find. Now I'm going to then fix the size of the text because you see that's knocked it across two lines there. And this is where it's quite useful to type in the number as opposed to just doing the up and down arrows because the gap can be too big. And then this little subheading here I'm going to do is Comic Sans, which is again quite a commonly used font, and just increase it slightly but not too much because you want to make sure this stays as the main heading. So now we've done that, I think you can agree we've done that very quickly. Not the most exciting poster, but to be honest I'm more interested in showing you the skills. And what we can do now is right click on this comment and we can delete the comment. That shows us that we've now taken care of that comment, and then we can just scroll down to our next comment. So insert a border and two relevant graphics that relate to a rock concert. Now, we know that it's not rock in the sense of rock music, but we know it's rock in the sense of geology. So we'll insert a border quickly. We're going to go Design, Page Border. I might see if there's any art that's suitable for it. Nothing's really striking me as particularly suitable for the land of rocks, unfortunately. No, nothing at all. So just going to go for a wee 3D border. Let's make it a little bit thicker, have a standard line on it. Colour, you guys know I like purple. Going to go with that. So now we've got our border and we need two graphics. So now you can either go onto the internet and find them, or you can use the online pictures tool here. I'm just going to search for geology. And that's a pretty cool looking big rock up there. Now we can see that stretches across two pages, so we need to fix that. Now, one of the things that people struggle the most with in Word is pictures. And that's because you move them and they move all the text, and that can be quite frustrating. But if you use this tool here, and you select the right options, now it always automatically sets it to in line with text, but generally I find that square is more useful. Because I do find square useful because you want it to move the text about so that it's not going over the top of it. However, you don't necessarily want to be restricted to where you can move it. And one of the other great things I've done with Word recently is add these anchor lines in. If you can see that green line there, that middle line showed me that that's roughly the middle of the page, and the right line shows me that it's against the margin for printing, so it just lets you anchor it to a certain point. It's very, very useful. So we've got one picture in, but it asked us for two, so let's add in a second picture. I'm just going to search for the word rock, and that's quite an interesting collection of rocks, so let's put that on the poster. Again, it's a little too big for the page, so we'll reduce the size of the image just by grabbing the corner. I always recommend grabbing a corner because it will change the width and the height at the same time. You're less likely to have any negative effects as a result of that. And now that we've made it square wrapping again, we can again increase the size of it. And right click and delete our comment. And then we'll get one last comment. So the key information must be added to the poster. So the full address for Bishop Briggs Academy. And this is something that they quite like to do. So it's going to be Bishop Briggs Academy. We might want to reduce the size of this slightly so that it all fits in neatly. And we need the full address, so we're going to go in and very quickly search for Bishop Briggs Academy. This is quite a common task, particularly in Nat 5, where you need to go and find an address. Now, a lot of people like to copy and paste, and I'll do the same, but if you copy and paste it the way it is from there, it will paste it in the format that you copied it from. Whereas if we undo that and we right click and then use the paste text only, you'll see that it changes the format to match the format that's already in the Word document. Okay, so we needed that. I'm just going to hit delete a few times to get my comment back. We also need the date and time of the event. It doesn't specify it, so we can assume in our task sheet, let's just say that our rock event for geology is going to be Friday 28th February, and let's say it's going to happen at 7 PM. So you could either put 7 PM or 1900 hours, that would be fine, and generally a finishing time would be good as well, so let's say 10 PM. And the ticket price is £5, so that would be our last thing to put on here. Now I'm slightly confused as to why that's went to the side there. I think it's because the picture's not alongside it now, whereas it was before. There we go. So £5 per ticket. And then we can delete our last comment. And it's good if you are in the habit of printing out and you've forgotten to delete your comments as you go. When you print them, it does print the comment panel. So when you check your printouts, that's a good sign that something has went wrong. So if you get that and you print it out and it's got a comment panel there, it means that you've left a comment in place. Now you can also add a comment. So say that you were creating this, but you had to pass it back to your teacher or your manager for to check. You could potentially add a comment in yourself. So you go to the review tab, you click where you want to link the comment to, and click new comment. I could say, are you happy with these images? Change them if you feel they are not suitable. So that's an instruction, done, and that comment will now live over there, and if you send that to the next person, they can see the comment and delete it as they go as well. But generally you're going to be focused with deleting comments, so always review, show comment, and then delete them as you go. Okay, hopefully that was helpful, just showing how to add and delete comments. A lot of tasks, particularly in Word and spreadsheets to be fair, have comments embedded throughout the documents that you're given from the SQA or as tasks, and you need to delete the comments as you go. It's a good way to tick off what you've done and not done as you proceed.